Salut à tous et bienvenue dans Story Série, saison 2, épisode 17. 2019 commence en beauté puisqu'après 3 ans et 5 mois d'attente, True Detective revient enfin avec une 3e saison obsédante, sombre et poisseuse comme on l'aime.
It's too dark, man. I don't care.
Avec cette 3e saison, le showrunner Nic Pizzolatto revient aux origines de l'anthologie policière qu'il a créée en 2014 et sublime les petits détails qui ont fait sa marque de fabrique. Des paysages envoûtants, des trajets en voiture proches du cours de philosophie et une étude profonde de la société.
You see yourself getting married, Purple?
No, sir. I'm not a big enough asshole to put a woman and children through that.
Après Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, Colin Farrell ou encore Rachel McAdams, les True Detectives de la série sont cette fois incarnés par Mahershala Ali, oscarisé pour Moonlight, et le très intense Stephen Dorff, inoubliable dans le sommaire de Sofia Coppola. Et nous, petits chanceux que nous sommes, nous avons pu les rencontrer entre Paris et Los Angeles.
Were you a big fan of True Detective before you became one of the gang?
Yeah, I was waiting every week. I wanted to see the next one. I thought it was probably the best thing I'd seen on television since The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So I was a huge fan of the first season, and I was really interested to know who Nic Pizzolatto was, and like, who is this guy, and what is this show, and who directed this show, and I thought the acting was awesome, Woody and Matthew, and just the whole ambiance of the show, the textures, the way it was written, the way it was shot.
But how did you get involved in the show?
Very strange, you know. I got a call really strange last year in early December, and you know, Nic was thinking about me for one of the leads in True Detective. I was like, wow, you know, where's the script? Let me read it. And they
you were like, wow, or like, what?
I was like, oh, okay, but it's not mine yet, you know. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. And then, you know, I got 2 scenes, only 2 scenes. I said, well, where's the script? And they said, oh, you can't get it yet. I was like, oh, okay. So I read the 2 scenes, and I was like, I could tell just from the 2 scenes, like, these 2 guys have a special relationship on paper, you know? Yeah. So if the right 2 guys play these characters, it could be really good.
2 kids, supposed to be home by 5:30, never arrived.
You almost had a clean night, man.
Heaven is the same.
Anything you can tell me about Will?
He's quiet. I don't think he got noticed much.
You knew who was going to be the other
I
guy?
knew Mahershala was, yeah, because he was always attached. He was the first one attached, you know. And then I think after Moonlight, after he won the Oscar, he met with Nic and I think really sold himself for this part, you know, really wanted it. So I went in and I met with Nic and I read the 2 scenes, you know, like almost like an audition, you know, which I haven't done in a while, you know. I mean, so to audition was cool. It made me feel, all right, I'm fighting for something that I think is going to be great, but I don't know. I haven't read it, you know. So then I did that, and it was a real natural feeling I had from the dialogue of Roland from the minute I saw it, you know. I just...
You found his voice.
Yeah, it just felt natural. It didn't feel like I was trying or putting too much on it. And
Let me ask you. What's up with this?
I mean, it's just a band.
Black Sabbath, huh? What's a Black Sabbath?
It's a satanic mass.
Is that true? It's satanic?
I think it's just their name.
And Nic just said, yeah, you know, and then they made me the offer, and it was quite a big, it was a hard year for me the year before, because I lost my little brother, and I was thinking of quitting acting. And out of nowhere, 1 year to his passing, they offered me this part, you know, and it was the richest part I had in a long time. I don't know if it was a gift from my brother or what, but it was a very strange timing, how it came out of nowhere, floated into my life. Usually you hear about something for a few months before, or your agents are talking about it, you're targeting which movie you want to do, you know. This was kind of came out of nowhere. So it was really
a healing process?
Yeah, really special, and it gave me a chance to really get into a great role and do some of my best work, I think. So You know, I wish my brother was still here, but I think he would be really proud of this show and this performance that I worked so hard on. And now I have to find a job, or I'm going to work with you on the French TV.
You want to execute him? We can bury him right out here. I don't give a shit. Throw him off a bridge. Nobody will care.
Put him in holding. If his parole violated, he'll be back in Wrightsville tomorrow. Full sentence.
If you say so.
Talk shit about us. I have monstrous niggas fuck him to death in his cell. You hear me, boy? He will bleed black cock.
And Nic has a gift to mix always darkness and poetry. Like, there is something very special in the way he depicts the world.
I mean, I think he's one of the smartest guys I've ever met, you know. Sometimes it's intimidating, because I can't verbalize life like he can. He told me when he was writing this, he was almost speaking the lines. You know, he doesn't really write like a normal writer. He's almost talking the dialogue, and then the computer is kind of writing the lines as he's going, because he's saying, yeah, Roland says this, and then boom, boom, you know, he's almost up on his feet writing the scenes, which is really, really cool.
Nic Pizzolatto est un mystère pour tout le monde, y compris pour nous. Alors pour en savoir plus sur son travail, nous avons sauté dans un avion direction Los Angeles à la rencontre de Mahershala Ali et Carmen Ejogo.
I'm Wayne.
Amelia.
Le duo d'acteurs incarne l'inspecteur Wayne Harris et sa femme Amelia Reardon, une professeure de littérature engagée. Et comme Steven Dorff, ils ont vécu une expérience hors norme et totalement immersive en travaillant sur True Detective.
So first of all, for Nic Pizzolatto, True Detective is a very personal project. So how did you get into his world with this role?
Wow. We just had a lot of conversations. And the process leading into even like getting the job, I could see how deeply personally connected he was to this story and this season, and how much he wanted the show to really connect with people. So we just talked about the underlying intentions beneath the season and all the characters, and then we just got to work, got to shoot it.
Did you have any conversations with Nic about the political and the social and racial background of the show?
Yeah, we talked about what was going on with all the characters coming into the story, like the pages before the actual pages we see. So what is their story leading into that moment?
My man here was a LERP, 2 tours. Detective Hayes. They call him Purple Haze over there.
You were recon?
75th Infantry.
Sergeant, you must be pretty insane, volunteering for that.
I didn't think about it much, to tell you the truth.
And also just their political perspectives, like how they see the world. Wayne is somewhat conservative, as a lot of police officers are. They naturally skew a little bit more conservative because they just see so many things that are like wild and crazy.
Before you ever knew me, I wasn't scared much. I wasn't a fearful man. Things I've seen, things I know, wouldn't do anything but cause harm. My whole brain's a bunch of missing pieces.
Did you think you could just go on and never once have to look back?
So I suppose that True Detective, when you discovered the script, it's the kind of complex story that you're looking for as an actress.
Yeah, the density was a little overwhelming to begin with. And then I just had to sort of like give into it and realize that I wasn't going to be able to visualize the entire piece on day one. And I may make choices day 45 that I wish I hadn't done what I did on day one, but But I had to let go on that and sort of have a level of trust that somehow it was on the page and that Nic, who had written it, had sort of built-in safety mechanisms to allow it to all make sense, even if in the moment it sometimes just felt like too much information, even as an actor, to absorb.
This year, twice, I've been to St. Louis, and I've stayed at this hotel, and I've pretended I'm someone else. I go out, meet new people, and I am someone else. Different name, different background, different job. Twice.
So he's a very sophisticated writer, and I think he doesn't underestimate the audience in the same way. He knows that there's a certain sophisticated audience member out there that appreciates his work. So he allowed it to be dense on the page. I think, though, that the writing has a clarity and an authenticity about it at core that meant that as an actor you had enough to sort of figure out what was happening and stay on course.
I have the feeling that True Detective works as a musical piece that comes from the voice of the characters and the accents. How did you work on yours?
I've been thinking it could have been a neighbor. Had him sign in, saw some shifty eyes in there, but maybe my redneck radar.
We just sort of talked about the region and the time and the era, where he grew up, him growing up on a farm, who he would be influenced by, how that would influence his sound, the type of music he would listen to, how that would influence his sound. Just hearing other examples of people around that region that were all over the place, from really twangy in their sound to not having any kind of accent at all.
Okay, I gotta go.
All right. Be safe.
I'm a big fan of the whole series, but I feel like this season, thanks to your duet, it brings something that was a bit lacking, which is emotion, like human weaknesses and stuff like that. And you managed to build it together. How did you work together?
So you got to really develop the birth of where these two meet, where these two were detectives, young. They'd probably been partners for about 6 months,
yeah.
Nic thought. And I think, you know, if it doesn't work in these long car scenes, you know, the whole show would just fall flat.
Like, mythical.
Yeah, they have to, that chemistry has to be there. And so naturally, me and Mahershala just kind of, we started with the beginning and we started doing these scenes, and once we got a good one under our belt, we were like, all right. And then we go to the next one, and then maybe that's a fight scene where we're kind of angrier at each other.
Yeah.
Boom, we nailed that one. Okay, now we're starting to feel the vibrations of this relationship, you know, because I think both characters are very different, which makes it special, you know.
I knew they wouldn't listen to me. But you should have stopped that.
Me? What am I supposed to do? You were there.
I'm saying, our talk, it don't mean anything. Don't matter if I'm right. You at least, you talk, it means something to him. Might consider what you're saying, might have stopped him from doing that.
Bullshit. Who knew until it was on the TV? Why didn't you stop him?
They ain't my tribe, man. Take care of your shit.
Tribe? Where you think you are, asshole?
What is your process to let go of this kind of character where you feel you've inhabitated you for months?
Yeah, it was a hard part to shake, you know, because I really liked Roland a lot. I was kind of stuck for a little bit.
You missed him?
Yeah, I missed him. Yeah, he was a really cool character that still, I think, is a part of me. But I think just his emotion, his sensitivity, his sense of humor, his toughness.
It's gonna haunt me.
Usually I hate everything, and I really love this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Usually I'm like, oh, hello. How are you? No, but I'm, oh.
And you break everything.
Hey, how are you? I broke my mic. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, merde.
Thank you very much.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's finished? Merci beaucoup. We're rolling.
Story Série, c'est terminé. La semaine prochaine, les comédiens qui alternent entre cinéma et série nous racontent leurs secrets de travail pour passer d'un format à l'autre sans trop souffrir. Allez, à la semaine prochaine.